Before we can begin looking at the reciprocal trig functions, it's important to know how to rationalize the denominator. So the reason why we rationalize the denominator is because it's easier to see the value of the fraction when the radical symbol is in the numerator. So let's take a look at 2 over the square root of 3. And so to rationalize the denominator, what we do is we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the radical that is in the denominator. And to do that, when we multiply fractions, we just multiply straight across. So we're going to do 2 times the square root of 3, and that's going to stay 2 times the square root of 3. The multiplication of the whole value stays outside of the radical symbol. In the denominator, because we have 2 values inside of the radical, it becomes square root of 3 times the square root of 3, which ends up being the square root of 9. And we can simplify that further to be 2 times the square root of 3 over 3. Let's take a look at another one. Let's say we are trying to rationalize the following fraction. Five over the square root of 7. Let's make this negative. Okay, so let's say to rationalize this, what we're doing is getting the radical symbol out from the denominator. So we're going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 7. Again, we're going to multiply that straight across, so it's going to become negative 5 times the square root of 7 over square root of 7 times the square root of 7 is the square root of 49. But again, we can simplify that further, being negative 5 times the square root of 7 over 7. Let's take a look at just one more. What if we have 8 divided by the square root of 2? So again, we're going to rationalize this to get the square root out from underneath the denominator by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 2. Then we're going to multiply straight across. So that's going to become 8 times the square root of 2 over square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 4. Again, that can be simplified further to be 8 times the square root of 2 over 2. Now, the one thing I want you to notice is that anytime possible to simplify, you're going to want to do that. So this 8 over 2 does simplify to being 4 times the square root of 2, because I would simply just do 8 divided by 2.